Hey, it's Keto Jim. As always, welcome and thanks for spending some time with me. When I was first getting started on keto, going shopping for food was completely overwhelming. It was so overwhelming, in fact, that I grew to hate the entire experience. But I love food. How was it possible to hate something that I used to love so much? While the average grocery store has between 40,000 to 50,000 items, and trying to figure out what to buy what works on keto while pushing a shopping cart through all that can be really confusing. The endless aisles didn't provide me with more options, it just gave me more anxiety. I'll be the first to admit that my first couple shopping trips were a complete keto disaster, something you might be able to relate to. It's my mission to help you do great on keto and to avoid the mistakes that I made. That's why I created these 5 easy rules for keto shopping success. These are foolproof tips that will help you avoid the confusion and anxiety that plagued me when I first attempted to purchase keto-friendly food items from the grocery store. All you have to do is follow these 5 simple rules that I'm going to share with you in this video, and you'll be in great shape for your next trip to the grocery store. Hey, and by the way, I've got a fantastic Keto Diet shopping list that I'm going to give to you absolutely free. Just click the link in the description below this video. It's got everything you need, everything we're talking about here today, all in one handy checklist that you can take with you for shopping or use it to plan out on your next trip to the store. All right, let's get into the 5 rules. All right, here's rule number 1. If it ever walked or swam, it's good on keto. Remember, keto is a very low carbohydrate diet, so we want to focus on low carb food items. Meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs have little to no carbohydrate content, so they're great low carbohydrate sources of protein while you're on keto. Beef, pork, chicken, turkey, and fish are also super low carb, so you can include them all on your shopping list. Eggs are also a good option. The average size egg contains less than 1 gram of carbohydrate. Oh, and by the way, the charts that I'm sharing with you are from the free Keto Diet shopping list that I just mentioned. Get it by clicking the link in the description below this video. All right, rule number 2. Fats are your best friend. The keto diet was originally created to be a high-fat diet. That means you want to get the majority of your daily calories from healthy fat sources. Fats and oils contain virtually 0 carbohydrates, so they won't kick you out of ketosis. Things like butter, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, etc. all have 0 net carbs. That's why fats and oils make up the majority of calories on the traditional ketogenic diet. Remember though, if you're trying to lose weight, you'll still want to keep track of all the calories in the fats that you consume. Just because they don't contain a lot of carbohydrates doesn't mean they don't have any calories. Now for rule number 3. Don't go completely nuts over nuts. When we're talking about the carb content of whole nuts, seeds, and legumes, we usually measure them in 1/4 cup amounts. Most of these, like almonds, peanuts, walnuts, pecans, etc., contain 3 grams of net carbs or less per 1/4 cup, so they're all fine on keto, in moderation. The butters made from these, however, are more nutritionally condensed, and their carb content goes up as well. It only takes a couple of tablespoons of most nut butters to get up to around 3 grams of net carbs. Nuts, seeds, and legumes are a good source of many micronutrients, so including them in your balanced diet is a good thing. Just keep in mind the carb content. Our 4th rule for keto shopping success is, cows may be fat, but dairy can actually help make you skinny. Most cheeses are low in carbohydrates. A 1-ounce serving usually contains 1 gram of net carbs at most. Cream cheese, heavy cream, and sour cream are also low carb, so they'll get a thumbs up on keto. But be careful with cottage cheese. A 1/2 cup of whole milk cottage cheese has over 7 grams of carbohydrates. Here's our final rule, number 5. Veggies are great, but focus on the leafy ones. Everyone knows vegetables have great nutritional value and are all important part of a healthy, balanced diet. However, keep in mind that some of the vegetables also have fairly high carb content. That's not to say you shouldn't include them on keto, you just need to eat them in moderation and make sure the carbs that they contain fit within your day's carb allowance. One example would be artichokes. A 1/2 cup contains a little more than 5 grams of carbohydrates. That's a big chunk of most keto dieters' daily carb allowance. You want to prioritize leafy vegetables. Items like arugula, bok choy, spinach, sprouts, and watercress are all low-carb veggie choices that you can eat pretty much to your heart's content. Alright, those are your 5 easy rules for keto shopping success. To recap, rule number 1, if it ever walked or swam, it's good on keto. Number 2, fats are your best friend. Number 3, don't go completely nuts over nuts. Our 4th rule, cows may be fat, but dairy can help make you skinny. And our 5th and final rule, Veggies are great, but make sure to focus on leafy ones. Keep in mind that you'll still need to balance your macronutrient intake throughout the day to make sure you're in ketosis. Just because something fits in these 5 rules, vegetables for example, doesn't mean you can eat all of them that you want. You're still going to need to keep your total carbohydrate consumption low enough to stay in ketosis. But by following these 5 rules, you'll be buying the right items that'll give you the building blocks you need to put together a great keto meal plan. But before you head off to the grocery store, make sure you grab your free copy of my awesome Keto Diet shopping list. Just click the link in the description below this video and you can download it free right now. You can print it out or use it on your phone while you're at the store so you can make sure you're buying the right items for your keto diet. You'll definitely want to get that right now. Thanks again for spending some time with me today. Make sure you check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any great keto diet information. Take care.